So what was it for you that attracted you to the role of Reagan?
Well, growing up, my grandmother immigrated here from Sicily, and I always heard about the most handsome man she knew was Ronald Reagan. And so I always heard about this guy growing up, right? But I was born in '89, which I think was his final year as president. If I'm
So you wouldn't remember
I
him.
don't have a living
Right.
memory of him at all, but I just grew up hearing his name from my grandmother, right? So when I met Mark Joseph, the producer, and he introduced me to the script and Reagan the man, that's what I loved about the project is it's not about the president or the politician. It's about the man. So you really go behind what he's known for externally and you learn about what made him tick. I just read the script. I fell in love. And I really, what, what made me, I think, understand him as an actor was understanding his childhood, especially the alcoholism his father dealt with. And he grew up in that environment. And I think that makes a person sink or swim very quickly. And he swam. He turned it into, I think, a superpower of compassion, empathy, and love. And when I learned about that, watching him in speeches later in life, I understand why he's called the great communicator, because I think people see someone has suffered, who's been through something and who cares. As an audience, I think you want to care when being spoken to. And if you see someone disingenuous or someone who's two-faced, you don't care. With him, you care because I think you sense something subconsciously that this guy's been through something and has come out on top. And I think that stems from his childhood. It's just
Yeah.
purely my
No, that's super
conjecture.
interesting.
But that to me clicked and made me really care and go, I want to be involved in this. I want to do something here.
And getting to know a person beyond a public figure, especially a politician, right? It's like you see this person and it's like you don't know who they are, where they came from. You got a real chance to dig into who he was and where he came from.
Yeah, and I played him from lifeguard to WHO radio broadcaster, where they had this thing called the teletype, which I didn't know what the teletype
What is the
was.
teletype? Now I need
It's
to know.
essentially text messaging, ancient text messaging, where he would be calling sports games, the Cubs, I think, and he would get sent a teletype. So this thing would print out and he would be calling the game based on this thing. So he would bring it
wow.
alive for folks. But it's old school text messaging. It's like
That's amazing.
Morse code, but actually typed out and sent to you.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what for you was the biggest challenge of trying to bring him, that portion of his life, to life?
Yeah. I mean, everyone knows Reagan. So it comes with a lot of baggage, but a lot of people don't know young Reagan. Like they know old Reagan, and young Reagan sounds nothing like old Reagan. So the challenge was make it authentic, but don't be an SNL character doing some old Reagan thing, like try to make it authentic. That was a challenge. But in a way, there's a bit of flexibility for me because people don't know lifeguard Reagan. They don't know what he sounds like then. And all of his younger stuff sounds completely different than his older stuff. So I had some flexibility, but the common denominator is his accent was a little stronger when he was younger. It didn't rub off as much. When he moved to California, it kind of, got a little more mild and his voice was higher pitch. So, I had a blast with it and it was fun. It was really, really fun.
You've done a lot of different projects over the years. How is this one different? Did it change you in any ways?
Yeah, it comes with a lot of responsibility because people really care about Reagan. Like people have a very strong association with Reagan. So it was a lot of like, don't screw this up, kid. So there was no pressure, and everyone's got a story about him. I meet someone, I just walking through these halls, like someone was like, I was at the funeral service where his casket was taken out of the hearse, and I was the only photographer there, and I got pictures. And this one woman this morning had breakfast with him when she was a little girl, and like all these wonderful stories. People have a connection to him, so it came with a lot of baggage to get it right and to work hard at it, which I did. And what I loved about him is he was authentic. He was himself. Like there wasn't this public private distinction. Like even when he was wrong, he believed it. Like he was doing something genuine that he felt.
Yeah.
And there was no public private.
Which is rare. That's actually a really rare quality in a politician and a person.
And I think it's why he'll be pulled till the end of times as one of the most liked guys, because he was himself. Like that A Time for Choosing speech that he did for Barry Goldwater, those were his words. Like pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah. All right. So question about you, because
Yes.
you have been remarkably normal. And I mean that in a very positive sense,
Oh,
right?
thank you.
Being in Hollywood. No, I mean, look, Hollywood could be a tough place,
Sure.
right? And you have always been a very humble person. What has sort of made you that way, kept you that way?
You know, when I was younger, I wasn't. And so I was humbled in life as I grew up. And as I got older, I just started going, because when I was younger, I was like, I had a big fan base and everything. And I was like, I don't have any responsibility towards them. I'm just an actor. I'm doing my thing. I'm cool. And as I got older, I was like, that's kind of dumb. You actually do. People care about you and you should try to do something good with it. Like with it's that Spider-Man quote, with power comes responsibility, right? So as I got older, I was like, I need to do something with this. This life is a gift, and there's a lot. There could be all sorts of things I could be doing right now that would be very difficult in life, and I don't have that, and that's a blessing. And who am I? I'm a speck of sand on this whole tapestry of life, and just do what you can with what you've been given. So like, that's my thing, is just try to use my platform to do good, show the beauty of family life, make good content, be a part of projects that can make an impact. So that's my thing, is just doing what I can with what I got.
Yeah, you show your family a lot. You're very out there doing
Yes.
that, just being a normal person. And people don't see that a lot in Hollywood.
Truth be to goodness, right? Like the Transcendentals, just do your thing, try to do it excellently, try to do it in a beautiful way. Beauty's appealing. You're led to contemplate without even realizing it. So try to be beautiful in everything we do, and that's that, man.
All right. So my final question for you is about legacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of those weird questions that people are like, "Why are you asking?" But it does make you think.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, what do you want your legacy to be that you leave behind?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it would be something to do with the Transcendentals, with Truth, Beauty, Goodness. Like my whole life and my whole platform is built on that. Like, just try to do something and do it excellently and do it beautifully. And ultimately those things are about Truth, Beauty, Goodness is about more than you. It's about yourself, yes, but it's about your family, about your community, about your culture. So do what you can to try to affect all of that in a positive way. And Truth, Beauty, Goodness is the way to do it. So I hope after I'm gone, that will have an effect on my family, and then on the rest that come after them. And so hopefully they'll say he went for it. Not even that necessarily I was the best or the this or the that, but that I stayed the course along the way. I tried hard, and it was about the getting there more than where you're going. And if you get there in the right manner.
Yeah. And I love what you said about responsibility there too before,
Yes.
just knowing that there is, when you have that influence, that there is a responsibility, because not everybody thinks there is.
Whether you like it or not, you have a relation to that, and you'll be held to that one day. So.
Well, awesome. I appreciate it. The film is Reagan. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate it, Billy.